What's going on, everyone? All right, time for another trade recap for Monday, June 16th. I think I missed one on Friday. Actually, I was thinking back. I was like, I know I had a good day Friday, this past Friday. And you know what? I don't think I did my trade recap. So I apologize. But the theme for this one today, all right, I think I've gotten, so not I think, if you've been following me and you've watched any of my videos here lately, I've been really wanting to make my trading more mechanical, but it's kind of weird to say mechanical, but more of a like you can have a checklist, like boom, boom, boom. If this, okay, then I'm looking for a trade or whatever. I want it to be very clear early, and I do want to have a very simplistic way of doing it. So this video today, I'm going to take it from normally how I normally do it, but it's going to be a quick. I just want to go into what I'm doing now to make it simple and go straight from a top down. Boom! This is exactly what I'm looking for. When the market opens, I wait to see if it happens. If it happens, great. I take the trade, win or lose. Whatever happens, happens. If it doesn't form the way I've kind of framed it out, then I do nothing. And I've always wanted to take that approach, but I want it, and I've pretty much always done that. But I want to make it crystal clear. So I think that's going to be the case going forward. I think I've got it in a way. So definitely hang around for this video. It's going to be a pretty simple and sweet one. I'm just going to take you really quick on that process when I sit down. But I mean, it shouldn't take more than 5 to 10 minutes each day just to look, kind of map out what you're looking for and just get right into it. So yeah, let's jump in real quick here. Okay. So here's the daily chart. And you do have to kind of know what's been going on every day, right? Like I used to trade a different way, and I never cared really what happened the day before that, or not even much more what happened, overnight. But you do have to keep that in mind, right? Like know what's going to happen, know what's been happening, because you're gonna refer back to a lot of these levels over and over. All right, so what I'm looking at here is the daily chart. Okay, we've been in this area, this stuck area, right? Because I've marked this out. This is that daily fair value gap right here. Okay, we've reached it. We were in this lower one. Let's zoom in here a little bit. We were in this lower one here. Okay, we reached into it, pulled back, reached into it, pulled back, did all this, finally reached up into here. We pulled back. This was that news on Friday, the war going on. But we finally closed above this one. So let's take our eye off of this one. So now we have this one up here, okay? So immediately I'm like, okay, I know we already hit that. Immediately I want to mark my previous day high, previous day low. Now also I do mark my previous week high and previous week low, but I'm not doing it right now for the purpose of this video, just because that wasn't really an issue. Actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do it. We had the weekly high, weekly low here. The weekly low and daily low, the previous day low, were the same. All right, so where are you? Last week. There we go. Sorry. So there. So I'm just going to put it there. All right, so we have this range, right? So here we did open up lower, and I'm expecting, I don't really think we're going to take this low here, but we could. So I just, all I want to do are we in any fair value gaps on the daily chart? Are we bumping into any? Is there any in the vicinity that we could hit? So obviously we open here. We made this little rundown. We have this low and this low. I want to see which one is lower. So this low is 471. If you look right up here, low of 471, 21, 471. This low was 470.50. So this low was a couple ticks lower than this one. So now I'm not really looking in this area. If anything, that we keep coming down. I'm looking at this swing low, this swing low, then we have this fair value gap and imbalance over here to the left. I want to make sure you can see that. Yeah. But for the purpose of today, I don't think we're going to run very far because also Wednesday we have FOMC, the Fed funds, the rate decision. So this is where they're going to actually make a decision on the rate. That's a big one. So you got to think the Monday and Tuesday before that could be Monday, if I get a good trade, great. Tuesday, I'm okay with. It's got to be really good for me to take a trade. And then Wednesday, I don't trade. Okay, I don't trade the day of FOMC. So this is really all I'm doing here on the daily chart. Just mark that out. Okay, so let's go back. Checklist, basically. Daily chart, weekly chart, I have the high and low. All right. And then also the same thing. Are we in any fair value gaps on the weekly? So I guess it is a good thing to go back. We do still have this weekly fair value gap, but you can see we've already traded above it and we're still kind of in it, right? So like just gotta kind of take note of that. And then the daily chart, I mark the high and the low of the previous day, high and low. And I want to see like, can we run out the lows? Where do we close? Right? So we have this swing. And then if you look today, I mean, we ran up that high. This is pretty bullish. So you're just looking, are we bullish, bearish? But we're still kind of ping-ponging, basically, between those two fair value gaps that I mentioned that we're in, right? We have the daily one above. We have that weekly one we're in. We still have, some daily ones down here. But, so that's all I'm really looking for there. Daily high, daily low. And where are we in relation to that? Again, we were down here and then we have the low here, but we just made that. Is it possible that we can go lower? Yeah, it's possible, but let's see what all the other charts have to say. All right, so I just marked the high, the low. Let's drop down and then note any fair value gaps in the area. All right, so we do have this little one as well right there. So we see we used that one, came up, and, haven't really done anything from there. So then I'm going to drop down to my 4 hour. So you got to look here. I got the daily. These are the charts that I look at, top down. I'm not too concerned about much on the 4 hour, except like kind of what's in the around price. Like what can I, because keep in mind, like the trade that I trade, I'm looking only about, from the 9:30 to 10:30 time frame AM and one trade. That's all I'm looking for. So like in that one session, one trade, the daily bias, yes, is important. And I do the top down, right? But if I have a level somewhere, it doesn't mean in that session it's going to hit that level. Like I got to kind of be aware of, how far price is running, kind of like what's going on in the markets, right? So daily, drop down to the 4 hour. First thing I'm looking for is fair value gaps. That's the first thing I'm looking for. Are there any that we've left behind? And have we inverted any? Okay, so look, this bar here, it actually closed at 10 a.m. So it wasn't quite all the way up here yet, but it was up here. And I was like, or it was like right around this area. And you'll see in a second. So I was like, okay, we have this big fair value gap right here, right? This is obvious. We have this fair value gap. And at the time, we were like way up in here. And I'm like, okay, we've already closed up here. We're pushing up here. We very well could, rebalance this and trade up. Like, that's a possibility. So I'm looking at that. And then in this leg, is there any fair value gaps? No. Anywhere else? No. Well, we do have this one back here. So I'm just kind of looking at any fair value gaps that could have an impact on where price is. But I'm really looking at it like, no, then from here, there's no fair value. There's not really any higher time frame 4 hour fair value gaps. Pretty, kind of close to price at the time, except for this one here. So I'm kind of like, all right, well, let me mark that one. And then also, I don't really look for highs and lows much on the 4 hour and 1 hour. I'm mainly looking for fair value gaps and the highs and lows, relative equal highs, lows, buy side liquidity, sell side liquidity. I'm looking on the 15 minute because that's going to be more relative to my trading because I trade on the 1 minute, right? So I use the 15 minute more for where could price go. and then drop down to my 1 minute. And that's what I kind of look at more there. And then the 4 hour, 1 hour is where I'm looking for fair value gaps. The daily and weekly, I'm looking for previous day high, previous day low, previous week high, previous week low. And then I'm also looking at fair value gaps. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I will also look at, swings on the daily, but only if it's like we're right by one, and I kind of look at that. So anyway, so here's the 1 hour, or no, we're on the 4 hour. So I'm like, okay, there's not much, just this on the 4 hour. So let's drop down to the 1 hour. Okay. Now the 1 hour, we're here. Actually, it was lower because I should probably back it up a bar. It's because I set this on my 15-minute chart. So anyways, it was lower. It was like down right in this area here. Okay. So immediately I noticed this fair value gap. So I'm like, okay, here's this fair value gap right here. 15-minute fair value gap. And then I'm looking. Any other fair value gaps here? Not really. Okay. But what I immediately notice is this big inversion, right? Because we dropped down, came up, boom, boom, inversion right here. Use the upper half, came up, use this fair value gap, came up, and, looked pretty good actually. So, or I'm sorry, that's I marked it wrong. That's the 1 hour. So I'm looking at it like, okay, that's all we have here. We have this big 1 hour inversion, this 1 hour. Okay, maybe this is going to go up. Let's see. Is there anything on the 15-minute now? Well, and then also over here to the left, this was that drop from Thursday. Oh, it was Thursday actually, or overnight, Thursday into Friday. This is that drop. So we had this big inversion here as well. So it's like, all right, it's probably recovering that news drop. So we'll see what happens here. Let me go to and that's really all I do there. Let me go to the 15-minute. 15-minute is where I like to spend most of my time of figuring out where price is going to go. So I like to zoom out like this, right? So if you see now we're like this, the 9 a.m. bar right here, okay? 9 a.m. I like to zoom out and look at this. And I want to see where, also I like to add my Asian high, like previous session highs and lows. So let me do that. Here we go. And then I zoom out. And I look here like, all right, where's it obvious? Where is it obvious that price could go? Like, where's some smoothness in the marketplace? Like, what's obvious? Immediately, my eye is drawn. If price is here and I'm looking left, immediately my eyes are drawn to this high, but mainly this right here. There's a lot of buy side liquidity here. New York lunchtime high never got taken. New York PM session never got taken. This is also previous day high, which was Friday high actually, right there. So my eye is immediately drawn to this area. I'm like, okay, that's where I think price is going. And let's see here. I typically will mark that with my buy side liquidity, but I could zoom into that here in a second as well. So like I said, I had that area over here too, but let's zoom into here as well real quick. So if you look, we made this high. Price came down, made another high right there, made another high, came down, made one there, came down, made one there. But look each time that we have those wicks, right? Did it ever take out the previous wick high? You have this high, then look at this high, this one kind of took these, but you never have, it's never taken out the previous ones. So we have a lot of nice clean buy side liquidity there. And then of course we had that big drop. So my eye is immediately drawn there. And then I want to look, okay, so that's back there. That doesn't mean price is going there. Because that's over there. That happened days ago. So let's zoom in over here where we kind of are in the market. Okay. So immediately I look at, all right, what do we have here? Here's price. Do we have, okay, I immediately see we left the London low. Price has not taken that low. We left the Asia low. Price has not taken that low. We do kind of have some relative equal lows here, some smoothness here, right? We have some nice little smoothness. Okay, that might be something. So I just kind of want to note that. What's going to be stronger? The run to this minor buy side and then that buy side up here? Or is it going to want to come and take this out first, this area and this area out first, and then run up? Like, what's it going to do? Is it going to run up first and then come down here, or vice versa? So I don't know that yet. But what I want to do here, let me turn this off now so we can see better. But what I want to do is I want to start looking. How did it trade? Did it trade good? Okay, we have the new week opening gap right here. Okay, because price closed here Friday afternoon. Closed here. And then it opened here. So that's going to be a new week opening gap. So I have that in mind. We have a new week opening gap here. Okay. Price came up, left this fair value gap on the 15-minute here, and used it nicely. Came up, came down, used it nicely. And then what do we have here? Fair value gap right here, right? Taking these highs. So, okay, that's pretty good. Just going to mark that. That's nice. Okay, right here, inversion. Right here, all this is an inversion. Right here, this big inversion. So, okay, it's looking pretty good. And then we have price come up, drop right into this bigger inversion. Now, if price is going to be bullish, then bearish fair value gaps will fail. If price, and vice versa, right? If price is going to be bearish, you're going to see some bullish ones fail. And that's why you can't just think you can take any fair value gap. You can't. That doesn't work like that. You can't just take random fair value gaps. It's all in the framework. So immediately I see this one, right? Price took these swings down here, basically displaced below it, left this fair value gap. But then look what happened. Came back up, boom, inverted it and traded through it. So I saw this and said, oh, this is an inversion. It didn't hold up at all. And whenever it traded back through that inversion, we got this fair value gap right here. I was like, ooh, that's nice. And what's it overlapping? That 1 hour fair value gap. If you look right there. So now this is going to be a key area for me right here when the market opens. Is it going to dip into here and trade through it? If so, then it might, try to make its run down here. But if it dips here, and then do we see it go up? That's going to be the question. This is a key area for me. And at the moment, this 9 a.m. candle, it literally, was already in it, right? So that's what I'm doing. And then I marked out this high right here because that was that buy side, minor buy side right here. Okay. So let's go ahead and mark that. Some minor buy side right there. So then all I do is from the 5-minute, I drop down basically on the 5-minute. All I'm really doing is just marking the midnight open. Is this one? Yeah. The midnight opening price, 0.000. And I want to see, are we above or below the midnight open? Okay. And in this case, we're above. So we're above. So could it trade down? Yes, it could. But right here, it was already below it a little bit and it's traded very nicely. Like, we'll see. I don't need price to go lower because it's already traded pretty cleanly, right? So, and if you zoom out, you have higher to go. And if you're looking at power of 3 on the higher time frames, you'd see we're not very high. Like you could say, oh, you went long at the top. No, you got to zoom out. All right. And then that's all I really do there. The 1 minute I drop down and I look for my, first presented fair value gap basically. And that's about it. So that's really all I do. Okay. The weekly, the daily, drop down the 4 hours, see if there's any fair value gaps, drop down the 1 hour, see the same thing. 15-minute, that's where I'm looking at where could price go, what's obvious. How has it traded recently? Like, did it trade good? Is it using fair value gaps? Did it invert any? And then the 5-minute, I put that midnight opening price. And then the 1 minute, I'm waiting for my entry. So today, I had it framed out like that. And that's what I was looking for. Right here in this area is crucial. Can we trade below that? If not, we're going to go right up here, right above previous day high, which was Friday high, where that buy side liquidity was. All right. So let me mark that right here so we can see that. Okay. And then if I go back here, and then we go forward. Now we opened, and look at that. We shot straight up. And I said, wow. Had an inversion right here. Maybe this thing just runs straight up. Maybe it runs to this minor buy side liquidity and sweeps it and then comes down. Like, okay, I got to wait. I got to sit here and wait and see what happens with this because it opened and shot straight up. So in that case, and in the case where price just opens and it just goes, because that was up here, my ultimate target. This is my main target. That's what I was looking for. I really wasn't looking for a short at all because, it could have come down here, but I wasn't looking at any of this, to be honest. If it would have came down, I probably would have waited for it to run like down to this new week opening gap or 4-hour gap or something and see if I could have got a long. But either way, like I just had to wait. So I waited. We got this fair value gap. And then look, we went straight up to this minor buy side that I have marked here. So I'm thinking at this point, okay, typically, if you're looking for a long, you want to see that manipulation, right? And then you want to see that long. That's typically what you want to see because you have a lot of accumulation going on, right? That's really what you want to see. So it kind of happened here right away. It ran straight up, took that buy side liquidity. So I'm kind of like, okay, is that it? Is it going to now go down or is it just going to keep going up? We'll see because, we'll see. So we have this big fair value gap here, right? And I'm not going to just long it because this was that little minor buy side liquidity. And I'm looking at this wick, how it reached all the way up and body claimed down here and closed. And look at the body, how it couldn't like go past that buy side liquidity I had there. Let me fast forward it and look how the body's respected. So I'm looking like I'm not longing this, not yet. Like what I want to see is if this holds and then we could get another fair value gap, then I'll consider longing. Because this traded nicely down, right? It traded right into that 1 hour and 15 minute fair value gap. It doesn't need to go lower if it's going to target up there. That's my thinking on that. All right. So then it comes up, reaches down further in, like, okay, it is holding. Here, let me mark it so you know what I'm talking about here. This fair value gap right here. And 1 minute. Okay, let's keep going. It's holding. And now it looked like we were going to get a fair value gap, but it didn't. Came back down. We had this little volume imbalance right here I was watching as well. Right there. I was like, okay, this volume balance could hold up too. Let's see if that holds price up. Dipped right into it right there. And then you have this. Look at this. Because I was bullish, this won't trick me here. It's like, okay, maybe it's going to go. Oh, look at it coming down. Oh, look at this. We got a fair value gap here. Took this swing low. It's like, oh, is this a market structure shift and fair value gap? For me, no, I'm not looking for anything, any short until it can clear that right there, this area. It needs to show me, all right, we're coming down. Like it needed to trade way through that, like with being very obvious for me to have any type of interest in a short. So this right here, this little thing right here, nah, that don't interest me. Even though, yeah, you technically had a market structure shift, came down, trade back into here and come down. No, that doesn't interest me. Okay, so I'm like, okay. Now on the flip side, if this happens, this fair value gap, and then we immediately invert it, becomes an inversion. Now I'm interested. Now I'll go long off this inversion right here. That's what I'm interested in. So I'm watching to see if that one becomes an inversion. Okay. And look at that. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to enter an inversion right here because we have, here's the inversion. But look where price closed, way up here, 881, 30 points away, basically. Like, it very well could pull back into this inversion. It might create a fair value gap and then go. In doing so, doing that, yes, I do risk missing out, but I'd rather miss out than me placing an entry here and having to place my stop down here, a good amount of way away. So I'd rather not have to do that. So then I wait and we get a fair value gap. And then we came back in right there, wicked right into it. And that's where I got in. And I was targeting up here, this buy side liquidity, and I actually got distracted. I actually got a little distracted. So then when I noticed we hit this previous day high and immediately rejected, like we wicked through and came down and closed, I was like, ooh, don't tell me that's all we wanted. And then now we're going to go down. And then as soon as we came up and closed right here, I got out. And then look what happened right after I got out. Did a little pullback right to previous day high right there. Can't make that up. And then a couple bars later, it ran up. Another fair value gap there. You see, it kind of hesitated a little bit, but it ran up there. And actually, I think I had my buy side liquidity a little bit lower. I didn't pick that highest wick. So as you see, coming right back down to previous day high again. And then right there, made it up there. There you go. So that was my trade. And that's how I basically keep it simple. I'm going to go into my video here, as I always do. But that's how I keep my framework simple. And I know exactly what to look for. Just doing a quick top-down couple checklists. Look for this. Look for somewhere obvious to take price. And just wait and see if it gives me a setup there. The setup's easy. It's the framework that matters. I'm telling you, it's the framework. The framework that matters. So here we go. We have that fair value gap here. All right, and we're about to dip back into it. And I actually got in with not so good of an entry because it kind of, I never really get perfect entries, and I'm not worried about that because as long as I get in around where I'm trying to get in, and I can put my stop where I need to, and then I have my target, it's never going to be perfect. I try to aim for anywhere from 35 to 40 points all the way up to about 60 points is roughly where I try to aim for my trades. So you can see I actually kind of prematurely hit the button here. But I got in, and then it dipped down. And you can see I finally was able to figure out how to get my live account to show here as well, which I traded the same as all my PAs, right? So it's like I do it all the same. So then you see it kind of dipped in, hit there, had my stop right under the low. It should not, if this is going to work out, it should not dip below that low. And if it does, I want out. That simple. I don't care if it knocks me out and comes back up. Nope, it shouldn't dip below that low. So now I'm waiting up. And it was a pretty fast one, right? Oh, so you can see, look, it came up. I was all right, nice. And actually, at one point, I moved my stop to break even whenever it hit this area. But then I was like, let me bring it back down because it could wick me out. And I don't want to do that. So right here, I thought I was going to go straight up to my target. And actually, I had it up here first and I pulled it here. So then I went to break even. And once I saw this, I'm like, oh, crap. And I saw this fair value gap here in this little order block. I was like, man, this might pull back down and try down here again before going up. Because I see this wick. You see how this bar reached up and coming back down and closing here. So let's fast forward a little bit. Then we got this fair value gap. I'm like, okay, so it could come back down into this fair value gap. Shouldn't come back lower than my entry, but you just never know. I don't want the wick to knock me out and then it go. So waited. As you can see, came back up. Now I'm like, all right, might just close it. Let's see, we're pretty close. All right, let's just go ahead and take it here because it's hesitating. And like I said, I was a little distracted. So I was like, let me just close it. Let me get out of this. So that was it. Good little trade there. And this is just a glitch where it's running. So I have to go and make sure it's all flat. But yeah, just shy of $8,000 with the commissions, $8,000 with commission, or yeah, without commissions. $79.09 with commission. So hey, good trade. Just a quick, frame it out, and that's how I like to keep it simple. And I'm gonna do a video on just these. Another framework video, and try to have a few different examples. But yeah, that's what I want to do. Is just keep it simple, very simple. Go from, okay, here's what I do at the weekly, the daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute, 5. And this is what I'm looking for my setup by the time I get to that 1 minute. And if it happens, I get in, win or loss. If it doesn't happen, I don't take a trade. That's simple. So, all right, there it is. I hope you get something from this video. I'm going to, of course, keep putting out my recap videos. I have a few other things coming up, so should be able to get those out soon. Hopefully, everybody. And I just crossed 3,500 new subscribers, so please subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And, I do take pride on the content that I put out, because my channel is not built on giveaways, prop firm drama, all that kind of stuff. I want to have my channel built on education, discipline, psychology, and actual trading, like learning trading. And in a way that if all prop firms disappear tomorrow, you'll still be able to do well. So that's my goal. All right. I hope you got something from this. That's it for today. Have a great day. And as always, trade well, everybody.
Yeah.